All right, guys, lesson number 5. Woohoo! Getting there. Multiplying and dividing rational numbers, so should be a pretty nice lesson. Step number 1, multiplying and dividing decimals. So we're just going to go ahead and grab our calculator. For this, we won't ever really need to know. I mean, we're not going to go through it. If you'd like to learn how to do it the long way, come and ask me, and I will show you on our own time. So 7.2 times 0.2 with a negative sign in front of it, and that will give me negative 1.44. Next one, negative divided by negative. I don't even need to put the negative signs because I already know that my answer is going to be positive. Oops. And that'll give me 2.28. This is the part that I want to work on, doing our fractions, because we can plug it into our calculator this way and it'll spit out a decimal and we're like, I don't know how to do it. So what we're going to do in order to, I keep trying to grab my mouse, and I need to, I felt, let's do blue today, because why not? You take your top, multiply together with your top, over your bottom, times bottom, and then you simplify. I'm going to scooch this over a smidgen. One more. Yeah. And then watch this. Bloop. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make this. Do that. Come on, computer. There we go. And group that so I can go. Like that and move them over. Perfect. So, top times top. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 3 is 15. And no simplifying. So, that's my answer. Then we have 3/5 and 1.5. So I need to turn improper into mixed first. So turn improper. I'm sorry. Let's try this again. Turn mixed numbers into improper. So we're going to turn mixed numbers into improper fractions. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. So I'm multiplying 3 over 5 times 3 halves. And I want to show you something that's pretty neat. Let's get my highlighter out. So if you want to just kind of circle them. Oh, wait. Not this one. I'm ahead of myself. Never mind. No neat things. Top times top. So 3 times 3 is 9. And bottom times bottom. So 5 times 2 is 10. And can I simplify? Nope. So 9 over 10. Do this next one. I'll give you a hint. So pause the video. Do this next one. I'll give you a hint, though. It will reduce. Cool. Okay. The only difference between this one and the last couple, well, there's technically 2. The biggest thing is 1. One's got a positive, one's got a negative. So we know my final answer, excuse me, will be negative. 2, there's parentheses instead of the multiplication sign. It is exactly the same problem. That's all that means. So we're going to have a negative. 3 times 3 is 9. And then 4 times 8 is 32. And I asked myself, can I reduce that? And the answer is nope. So negative 9 over 32. All right, definitions. Multiplicative inverse. Bum, bum, bum. 2 numbers whose product is 1. And we know that the word product, and I'm going to switch to my purple, means multiplication. So 2 numbers who multiply together to give me 1. Now, we're asked on this one to name the multiplicative inverse. So that means that 3 over 8 times something over something will equal 1. And my question to you is, what on earth could that be? What can I get to 1? Well, and I'm going to type this because my thought bubble is a little bit longer than normal. We know that 3 over 3 equals 1. And 8 over 8 equals 1. So how can I manipulate this so that I can get 3 over 3 and 8 over 8? We also know that we multiply the tops together and the bottoms together. So that there is one of each number on top and bottom. So our idea here is to get the same one on top and one on bottom. Remember, if I'm going a little too fast, you gotta pause, catch up. So I'm going to, my original one was 3 over 8 times, well, I've already got an 8 on the bottom, so now I need an 8 on the top. And I've already got a 3 on the top, so I need a 3 on the bottom. And let's just double check that math. 3 times 8 gives me 24. And then 8 times 3 gives me 24. And 24 over 24 is 1. So my multiplicative inverse of 3 over 8 is simply 8 over 3. Can you guys come up with another way to write that, though? What's something that's not as intrusive or something that's a little bit more straight to the point and not complex? Well, we've got one. We just flip the fraction. That's all we do. So to find the multiplicative inverse, all you're really doing is flipping your fraction. Okay, so how do you think I'm going to find the multiplicative inverse of 2 and 4/5? Well, in order to flip the fraction, I need to have a single fraction. Right now I have a mixed number. So you're right, improper. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 4 more is 14. So, oops, that's not the color I wanted. So 14 over 5. So that's my original. So I need to flip that. So his multiplicative inverse is 5 over 14. All right, dividing fractions. So when we divide, and I'm going to scooch this down a little bit because I'm going to write a note up top. We never divide fractions. We change into multiplication and use the, oops, that's an M, multiplicative inverse of the second fraction. I cannot type today, holy cats. So we never divide fractions, we change into multiplication and use a multiplicative inverse of the second. So that first one of 1/3 is going to stay, then we change, and then we flip. So then 1 times 2 is 2, and 3 times 1 is 3, so my answer is 2/3. Cat. Yeah, he's just going to hang out. All right, let's do this next one. So I keep the first one the same. I change to multiplication, and I flip. 3 times 3 is 9. 8 times 2 is 16. Nothing can simplify. Try this one. I will give you a hint. You're going to need to change into an improper fraction first and then do it. So I'll give you a hint. Go ahead, try. Oh, and you have to simplify. Bum, bum, bum. Hard problem. So pause video and try this example. Perfect, should have 3/10. Next one, we have a negative and a negative, so my answer should be positive. So I have 1/5 times 10/3. And I made you do a reducing one earlier, but I didn't actually talk about it. So notice how across I have a 10 and I have 5, and both of those can reduce down. So I'm going to divide by a number that goes into both. And this only works if it's across. So 5 divided by 5 can turn into 1, and 10 divided by 5 can turn into 2. And so now I have 2/3. And let me show you why that works without changing the problem first. So I had the original problem of 1/5 times 10/3. 1 times 10 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15. And then I can say, hey, look, I can divide both by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2, 15 divided by 5 is 3, and would you look at that, it's the same answer. So you can either divide to start with and simplify it and make your answer easier, or you can multiply first and then divide later. It'll get you the same answer. Good luck on your homework.